Hi, I'm Sharon Calvert, and I'm with Eye on Tampa Bay. Today I have Chris Shalosky with me, and we're going to talk about the local Tampa Tea Party and what's going on, and introducing Chris as a new leader here in Tampa. Let's go back a little bit, Chris, back to when we first met, because you've been in the Tea Party movement since really the beginning. Mm-hmm. So where did we meet?
Well, we met at some activist training, and I think it was 2009. It was actually candidate training, I believe, was what it was. Was it? And I don't remember was it Americans for Prosperity or one of
it may
those?
have been American Majority.
American Majority
right.
Came and gave us some training on candidates. So there were several candidates in the room, and I wasn't necessarily thinking about being a candidate at the time. I just wanted to see the training and try to help others. But that's where we met, and I learned then, and since then a lot. What a great grassroots organizer you are. So I've kind of stuck with you in whatever you've been involved in, for good or bad.
Well, it's been an interesting 4.5 years, and looking back, I can't believe it's been that long ago. But let me tell you, after we did meet in 2009. Of course, that was the first summer of the Tampa Tea Party, and of which I helped co-found here in Tampa. Chris was gracious enough to invite me to his Republican Club meeting out in the southeast part of the county. We were getting ready for that big march in D.C. in 2009. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it was interesting because so many of us had this feeling that things were going wrong. And for a lot of us, it really started with TARP. That was really the big turning point, was TARP in the fall of 2008. And so a lot of us were just like, this isn't right. And things got worse after new administration came in, and we were talking about the stimulus and how much money was going to be spent on that. And just we're starting to talk about now coming up with a national health care plan that we thought we had beat back a long time ago and proved that wasn't going to be a good thing. And so we were all just sitting out there. And so instead of being just sitting there and stewing in our own juices, you gave us a way, and the other organizations gave us a way of kind of channeling that. And so we were coming up with this. We were going to go up to D.C. in March and express to all the elected folks up there just how displeased we were with the way things were going. And so you came in and gave us a good rah-rah speech, and so a lot of us, based on that, really probably went to that event. I think we had about 7 or 8 people from my very small club that actually went up to D.C. and marched in that event. It's been a life changer for me, participating in that.
And I agree with that. And I was lucky to spend time with Chris up in D.C. And it was an amazing day. I've never been in a crowd that large. I mean, whatever you want to say is the largest crowd I've ever seen. Had a great time, got motivated, and came back. And that kind of, from a historical perspective, started my relationship with Chris. And I respect his tenacity. He's still here with us. He's fighting with us. And so it was just a natural, whatever you want to call it, turn of events that I'm kind of moving on to some other things, and Chris is stepping up to become the leader of the Tampa Tea Party. So let me give you just an opportunity. Give us a little, information about your background and what you have been doing, and what's just some information about Chris.
Okay. Well, for 23 years, I was in the military, in the Army, and worked in the infantry for 10 years. Was a company commander in Desert Storm. That was a pretty big life-changing event for me. And then went into research and development and studied and practiced project management. And then now that's what I teach in my as a part-time job in my retirement. I've been involved in all kinds of organizations. I've been the president of my alumni association for my school, and been involved in church groups, just get involved in all kinds of groups. I belong to a Christian Business Connection group right now. I've been president of that Alafia Republican Club. I've been the vice chairman of the Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee. I just try to get involved in all these kind of things and try to make a difference in all those. Just trying to, I feel like, I've already put in my time making money, so I'm trying to do a lot of the give back type of things. And so I know you wanted me to be involved in Tea Party leadership before, and I really resisted for a long time because I'll tell you, I mean, you've done so much in that organization, and I always thought, I was very intimidated, and I thought there's no way I can replace you. But the nice thing is I don't have to replace you. I just have to do, leadership of it, and I know that a lot of us getting together will be able to do the same kind of things and do some good work in the Tea Party. So that's why I finally, once you got this other position that you needed to spend some more time on, I thought, okay, all right, I'll go and do that. And I kind of felt a little, urging from inside that I could do that and try to make some, make some progress there. And so I volunteered to step in there. We'll see how it goes, but I think that a lot of people will help out, and together we can do the same kind of good things that have been done for the last 4 years in the Tampa Tea Party.
Well, I think that's great, and I will have to tell our viewers that I was been campaigning for Chris to take this up. So, so this is great. One last thing. You might want to give your thoughts on where you're looking to go and what's coming up in the immediate future for some things that you're looking to do with the Tampa Tea Party.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, one of the big things I think is that so many people have different areas that they're interested in. Some people are interested in education and Common Core and what a big government takeover that seems to be. So they might be interested in that part. And other people are more interested in taxes and personal, property taxes, especially in this area. And other people might be just interested in other, local government type of issues that come up. And so I'm trying to find a way to let people get involved in what they want to get involved in and not necessarily be involved in everything, because I find myself pulled in so many different directions from the different groups that I'm in. I'd like to focus on, one or two, areas that I'm particularly interested in. So that's why one of the things I'm trying to do is set up some teams, let people work in those, come up with their own ideas, and then we'll just kind of, at the leadership level, just try to help them succeed. And I know that, you did a great job in getting a lot of information out there, so I think that's one of the big things. I want to keep going with that, is try to get some good information out to the folks. And so, like last night, I posted something on the Convention of States last night, because I thought that was a very worthwhile thing that people might want to get into, because a lot of people think that this government has become at the federal level too powerful. And so this is one way that we could put some limits on it and get it back to the constitutional governance, the limited government that our founders intended. So I put that information out there, and if people want to get involved in that, then they can. And so we're going to do that. We're having a planning meeting coming up on Wednesday, at 7 p.m. And we're going to kind of get together and solicit ideas from the folks that come to that and see what kind of teams they want to be involved in. If there are other things other ones besides what we've looked at already as a leadership team, we're willing to take all that input and try to figure it out and organize in a way that makes sense and move forward and get involved in these issues, because so many people are sitting around. 2014 elections are coming up, and they're coming up. We're almost in 2014. You're going to have the primaries and then the general election, and everybody's kind of sitting around saying, we're going to get started one of these days. We need to get started now. We need to get involved now and make those things happen. So one of the other things I'm thinking that we probably should do is try to keep things at a local level, because that's where we can have the biggest impact, is if we focus on local issues and up to state, and maybe a little bit involved in national things, to work with other folks at the time, but on each of these issues. But if we focus on the local, if we can get the local part fixed, I kind of think it'll have a good bubbling up effect, and it'll affect state, and then make some changes at the national level. And so that's what I'd like to keep our focus on, is the local stuff.
Well, I tell you what, that is a great strategy. If you fix your own backyard, the rest will take care of itself. Mm-hmm. So I am excited for Chris to be taking over this position. I look forward to working with him. I will continue working with the Tampa Tea Party. We've got a lot to work. It's going to take all of us. So again, Chris, we're looking forward so much to having your leadership and bringing and re-energizing and revitalizing the Tampa Tea Party, because it's 2014, so let's roll.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much,
good.
Chris.
Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it.